The standby official if needed. The ball is in the air, tipped up and controlled by the Ospreys, and North Florida will attack to get this one underway from Nashville. ASUN Madness officially underway. James on the wing now, looking for some help with 10 on the shot clock. Adedoyan with it now, driving in. Nice little bounce, misses on the shot though. Adedoyan missed on the shot, and the rebound out to one of the ASUN top 5 players this year, Asajla. There's the Lipscomb starting lineup. It'll be Greg Jones, Will Pruitt, Trey Benham, Parker Hazen, and Asan Asajla, who was named to the all-conference team. First team ASUN.
His 3rd straight year to be all-conference. Only a couple other players in Lipscomb history with that honor, Garrison Matthews and Adnan Hadza.
And he'll reverse it underneath and get the first 2 points of the ball game. He also made the all-academic team, 2nd straight year with a 3.43 GPA. He can do it all as he's got the grades and also leading the way, first team all ASUN, and he's the only player in the country averaging 14.9 points, 9 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. Man, what a stat line.
Well, no secret for North Florida. They're going to have to try to contend with him as there's a missed shot, rebound pulled down by Will Pruitt. And first 2 possessions, got to give credit to Lipscomb defensively, looked really good defensively.
Nice pass from Asajla down low. Hazen couldn't go with it. Here's Trey Benham on the drive and then kind of spins it off his left hand, up and good. Lipscomb out on top 4-0.
Nice attacking by Lipscomb and good ball movement to start offensively for the Bisons.
Hicklin on the wing, goes into the corner with it now. Adedoyan dribbles across to the other wing with it. Parker, nice little hook shot from the ASUN, uses the glass, gets the 2 for the Ospreys.
Jaden Parker, he's got some springs for legs. He can really get up, and you know, not known as much quite for the offense, but defensively he is trouble around the rim, to say the least, for offensive players, just with his shot blocking ability.
Work it down low again. Asajla, little shot fake, goes up, rolls it over the rim and gets it. And Asan Asajla already with 4 points. Lipscomb with a 4-point lead, 6-2.
You see Jaden Parker there. He was trying to get that block, but a little bit of a hesitation with the shot fake and just rolled it right over the rim is Asajla. But a good sign for the big fella for Lipscomb, getting into the scoring action early.
Parker trying to go one-on-one against Asajla, puts up another one, soft off the rim and gets it. He's got all 4 of North Florida's points. Will Pruitt runs the point for Lipscomb, but the man who wheels and deals is Asan Asajla with the ball out top now, giving off to Trey Benham. Right back to Asajla. Down on the ASUN logo. Shot going to be blocked. Nice block down low there by North Florida.
Yeah, Chaz Lanier, a little undersized, matching up against Asajla, but just really good hands by Lanier to get that block.
Chaz Lanier, one of those players that stepped up to start for North Florida after Hendrickson and Lazar went out with their injuries. They're both playing tonight. They're back to full strength.
And how about Jaden Parker here to start? Parker coming in only averaging 8 points a game, but he's already got the first 6.
And he's tied this one up for the Ospreys. Parker, Hazen down low, just didn't get it high enough up on the glass. Couldn't get it up above the square to drop that one in, and the rebound out and quickly to the other end. Ospreys with it.
Little mismatch down low if they can find Parker. He was matched up against Pruitt. Now they've got the switch, does Lipscomb. You think Parker with a hot hand, he's going to try to go one-on-one.
Ball knocked away from behind by Asajla, picked up by Jones. He'll give it back to Will Pruitt, who faked a 3, drives in, kicks it out for a 3 that won't go there for Jones, but a big rebound by Trey Benham.
offensive rebound for Lipscomb. They had the most offensive rebounds this season, 17 in the first matchup against North Florida, and that's what they want to see happen. Get the flush off the second chance points.
Wow. Parker Hazen getting another big one here in Allen Arena. He knows it's his last time most likely to play here in this arena, and he just flushed another one home. Out top, Parker wide open for three. Put in the book for it. And he has come to play today. Jaden Parker, the 6'10 freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina. North Carolina.
He's got all nine of North Florida's points, and now North Florida dropping into a little bit of a zone defense here.
Nice feed. Oh, nice pass down low. Now they'll pass it back out. Jones for three. In and out, no good. And Asajla does a
Parker Hazen and junior Asana Asajla, that was one of their favorite games that they've ever played as a Bison, and they're hoping to repeat that success again tonight. All time in the tournament, this is the first tournament matchup between these two teams that was not a semifinal matchup. Lipscomb is 1-2 against North Florida, though, all time in the tournament. Jonathan and Justin, back to you.
Thank you, Erica. We get a foul called down low as Anasovic trying to get the putback is fouled, and he'll get to go to the line now. Boy, hard to believe maybe if you just look at the stat line and say that the freshman Jaden Parker came in, has got the first 9 for North Florida, and he also hit the first 3 attempted by North Florida, and with that 3, they have now hit a 3 in 779 consecutive games, including every game as a Division I program.
And that was Jaden Parker's second three-point attempt this season.
Yeah, he was 0 of 1 coming into the game. And so he gets to the honor of extending that consecutive streak. And there's another 3 attempt from out top. This one won't go.
2 missed free throws by Jacob Ognasovic. That's a little surprising. He's one of the best free throw shooters not only on this Lipscomb team, but in the conference.
Yeah, he missed a couple the other day the same way in the game against Central Arkansas. Oh, nice feed to Pruitt off the glass, and good pass came in, I think, from Parker Hazen.
Well, and here's Jose Placer and Carter Hendrickson. Both of those guys, again, dealing with some injuries, but they were back against Stetson. They're coming off the bench now, but they combined for 50 points in the first matchup against Lipscomb. So those are guys that have been around the block for a while for this North Florida team, especially Carter Hendrickson.
Jonathan Abar got the last bucket for North Florida. A lot of ball movement across the paint into the corner for a 3 that won't go. They'll kick the rebound around, and Adedoyan comes out with it. Over on the wing for another 3. This one up and good by Hicklin. Put it in the book for Hicklin.
Well,
and a 3-point lead by the Ospreys. 4-point lead, brother.
Top 10 in the conference in 3-point field goal percentage, shooting at around 40%, and also top 10 in the conference. He's making almost 2.9 a game.
Step back shot missed there by Benham, and the rebound quickly out to North Florida as Lazar has it down court. He's playing with a taped right hand, and his 3 is in and out no good, but the rebound and the putback in and out no good there by
Carter Hendrickson.
Yeah,
he had the offensive rebound and looked like he was going to have a bunny back to get it in.
Hendrickson has a sleeve on his elbow. He's recovering from an elbow injury. Both of those top shooters had elbow and hand injuries for North Florida. Anasovic.
Believe it or not, Lipscomb, if you look the whole year, Lipscomb has been number 1 and number 2 in free throw attempts and free throw shots, but in ASUN play, North Florida has got to the free throw line more than Lipscomb has. That's going to be a big key. Obviously for Lipscomb, you still got to defend those birds of Trey because North Florida still attempting a ton of three-pointers, and Lipscomb, it can't be a tale of 2 halves. They've got to have 2 solid halves put together. They've had too many games where it's been that tale of 1 good half, 1 bad half, and that's been the problem for Lipscomb.
Nice turn and move and step back there by Hendrickson to go up and get the 2, and it's a 4-point lead and full court press being applied by North Florida. A little bit of trouble, but finally KJ Johnson will get it in, working across the timeline.
Both these teams shooting over 50% now from the field as there's a steal.
Well, it was knocked away, but Anasovic came back and picked it back up. Looked like North Florida was going to come out with it. Did you see that pass? It was kind of like volleyball touch there.
I'm not sure how anybody saw that coming. Ignacevic able to get it and flush it home, but what an assist.
Yeah, Sajla just kind of batted it to him. But Ignacevic gets the two. Three on the way. Put it in the book. Put up there by Hicklin. He can shoot the three. Over 40% shooter from outside the arc. He's perfect there. 2 for 2 now. 86 out of 212 attempts on the season.
Yeah, you just can't leave him alone. And that time Lipscomb, it was just a step, but
Tommy Murr got his Osprey flying by him. He stepped back out to shoot the three, but it's in and out, no good.
And Lipscomb
oh,
for
quick trigger on a three there. Won't go by Hendrickson. He had 26 against Lipscomb in the game down in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it was a career high for them, but then what did he do in the next game against Jacksonville State? He had a career high 27 in that game, and then he was injured in it, and that's been the problem for him as there's a bad pass and turnover by Lipscomb.
KJ Johnson tried to drive and then flip it back out to Sajla.
9 a game. He's already hit 2, so he's right on to his average.
And they're in their 11 wins. The Ospreys this season have held their opponents to 24.9% shooting behind the arc. And Lipscomb right now 0 of 4. And in Jacksonville, they were just 5 of 14, which was one of their lowest times this year from behind the arc. Tommy Murr can't get it up over the rim, but he does draw the foul with his shot down low.
They drew the foul, but not Adnan Oz, excuse me, I mentioned his name earlier. Here's another big man for Lipscomb, but look how wide open Sajla is there. If he could have just found him, that would have been an easy 2 for Lipscomb.
Took a little while to get the whistle out of the pocket to get the whistle to blow on that one. But Murr will go to the line to shoot the free throws, where Lipscomb is already 0 for 2, but Murr will collect on his first one. Again, Lipscomb in those kind of off-white throwback type uniforms tonight. And Tommy Murr gets both the free throws. Now, this Osprey team does not mind firing up long threes, but they also have a lot of length, Justin, and they can really work you down off the glass.
Well, they're #1 in the conference on the defensive side in block shots, as you mentioned, and that's because of that length they have.
Drive too hard off the glass on the shot put up by Hicklin.
Really good one-on-one defense that time by Tommy Murr.
Pruitt working into the paint, going to lean in, up off the glass, and good. I think Will Pruitt just felt like Lipscomb needed a back-to-back bucket, and he was just going to work it till he got it up and in.
Well, and quite frankly, Lipscomb's at his best when Will Pruitt is also scoring, not just playing that role of getting the rebounds, good kind of commander-in-chief out there. They need his scoring punch because that really puts pressure on the defense.
So Jacob thought maybe he had a turnover there as he caught the ball over on the bench, but the official on top of it said it was last touched by a Bison. So Lanier will make the inbounds for the Osprey. Long three on the way, off the iron, no good there. Missed by Lazar, and so here come the Bisons now.
Yeah, Jose Placer, you see his right hand taped up because that hand injury, you just wonder what that does to his shooting ability. Turnover there, though.
Placer on the run with it, off the glass and good. KJ Johnson went flying, some contact but no foul, and Placer gets the bucket. And already after coming off the bench, he's going to have now 3. Well, I think they haven't added 2 more. He should have 5 points now. Yes, 5 points. As Lipscomb goes inside to Asana Sajla, he's now up to 8 points.
Well, that play right there is indefensible by North Florida. The quickness and that big man, I mean, good luck.
Oh, thought about a long three there, but then Hickerson's going to fake and then go inside with it and knocked away. Ball loose
for Lipscomb, and it's even playing out in this game as Lipscomb has given up the second most three-point field goals this year. They're worst in the A-Sun in three-point field goal percentage from the opponent. Opponents are shooting against Lipscomb almost 38% from the three-point line, and unfortunately for Lipscomb, playing out here again, 4 of 8 is UNF to start here this first half.
KJ Johnson for 3, in and out, no good. Rebound quickly out to Hendrickson for North Florida.
Well, KJ Johnson, that's just really not the shot you want. He's shooting 25% from three. It just has not been his year this year from three-point land.
Jones went to the deck, and so when Henderson turned around, there was nobody there to defend him. Had an easy, uncontested shot there for the Ospreys to put them up by 6. Pruitt spinning and turning, shot too hard off the back of the iron, and the rebound comes out quickly to North Florida. Lanier out top with it.
Nice, good movement by North Florida, taking their time.
Went in and out with it. And then Henderson just can't get the shot from the little turnaround right there around the ASUN logo. Trey Benham trying to drive. You might question here Lipscomb's ball movement. They're almost just coming down court, Justin, as Parker Hazen's going to be fouled. And just whoever gets it takes it and drives with it.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things that they've got. I like Lipscomb drivers. I think they've got good drivers against this North Florida team. But what you forget is North Florida is okay with you driving into the lane on them because they know they've got shot blockers behind them that are going to be there as rim protectors. And even there, Parker Hazen able to get his own rebound, but still, you know, those shot blockers are looming, and that's part of playing into what defensively North Florida wants to do.
Parker Hazen misses the first free throw. He's a 62% free throw shooter. Lipscomb here early, just 2 of 5. And as a team coming in, a 73% free throw shooting team.
Yeah, and 2 of 6, though.
Yeah, he missed both of them. Hendrickson, he can step in and then step back out to you. He's deadly from wherever. And then we'll get the ball kicked there as Parker Hazen really trying to stick to him. Lazar back into the lineup now. Jose back in the lineup for.
Well, really,
North Florida.
not much has stopped North Florida offensively, shooting 55%. They're 11 for 20 right now from the field.
Down to 10 on the shot clock. On a kind of a bad pass there by North Florida, and Benham comes away with the steal. Lipscomb's not been able to find a good 3 in transition. Part of that credited to this defense from North Florida, but this time they get a nice pass over to Parker Hazen, who hits the 3, his 14th on the year, 39 attempts. He was 1 of 1 in the game down in Jacksonville, and his 14 points rather. He had 11 of those points in a row, as now a block down low gets the ball
Trey
right
Benham.
down to Lipscomb, and Trey Benham did get that block. A lot of passes here, and then Pruitt trying to maybe force one on the reverse, and he misses on it, and here come the Ospreys. They're going to pull up a quick 3 short, and the rebound's going to come down to Asana Sajala.
And Coach Lenny Acuff wanting to put on the brakes a little bit, not because he doesn't like kind of this fast pace, but Lipscomb's offense in the half court is really good if they take their time.
Parker Hazen dumps it off down low to Sajala. Lipscomb's within 1 after trailing by as many as 6. And there's a long pass turnover by the Ospreys, and Lipscomb will get it right back with 4:05 to play in the half, as Asana Sajala will go to the bench to get a breather. As Schulman's on the floor now with Benham and Jones, along with Parker Hazen and Will Pruitt for Lipscomb. They could take the lead this time down court. They led early by 5, but for most of this half, it's been the Ospreys on top as Pruitt misses again on the drive off the glass.
And Pruitt thought he was fouled that time down as well.
Little runner short there by Plazar, and Lipscomb's got another rebound. Out rebounding the Ospreys by 2, 14-12. Feet with Parker Hazen, as Erica Plunkett will do that. All coming up in the Elite Sports Medicine halftime report. Lipscomb down by 1 with the ball. Sajla spinning, turning, leaning. Can he go up? He does, but he can't get it. Gets his own rebound, misses. Oh, he missed 3 times.
Wow.
Oh, me. And I can tell you this, Justin, they're letting them play under there.
Yeah, they definitely are.
There are no whistles out there right now. They're letting them play. That is tournament basketball. There's a drive and a whistle called this time.
That's the first foul whistled against Lipscomb this half.
It's going to be on Trey Benham. It'll be his first, team's first, as Justin said, with 2:52 to go. And to the line is going to go Jonathan Abar.
They're trying to end a scoring drought of 358 for North Florida. They're 0 for their last 4 field goals. And he does end it with that free throw.
He stops the scoring drought, but neither team has hit a field goal. They've missed it. Both of them missed their last 4, right? As Abar, the freshman, who's a 63% free throw shooter, gets both of them. And his team with a 3-point lead.
Well, Lipscomb had that chance to take the lead last time down Kent. Now North Florida extends it back out to 3.
They could tie it with a 3, but to get open for threes in this kind of setup, you got to move the ball quite a bit. As there, Sajla has one deflected, but he stays with it. But then he goes out of bounds with it. But they don't call it because he knocked it back in. And here comes North Florida on the run. Hendrickson missed on the 3, but it fell right into the breadbasket of Chaz Lanier. And Lanier from Nashville, who played at Ensworth School, goes up and gets it. And boy, did I call that Lanier name many years ago quite a bit when his dad, Thomas Lanier, wore a Bison uniform.
And Chaz Lanier, because of COVID, didn't even get to go take an official visit to North Florida before he committed there.
Here's Hassan, has the ball just knocked away. He picked it back up, and just before the shot clock went off, he's able to get the 2.
Yeah, he ran into a wall there, but still, good job not committing the charge. And Hassan looking a little winded, though, right now for Lipscomb. His pace is picked up dramatically.
And he reaches in to try to knock one away. And that's so interesting. He's going to get the reach-in foul, which is a foul. But I felt like a couple of times down here rebounding, he was over the back a couple of times, and he got by with some no fouls being called, as checking in is going to be Caleb Coleman.
Yeah,
and Schulman will go out.
Sajla needed a blow. He kind of came out because he needed a blow, and Lipscomb wasn't necessarily ready to bring him out. That's why Coleman had to kind of quickly get his practice shirt off.
North Florida with a 3-point lead in the ball. Lazar out top, gets it over onto the wing with it to Hicklin. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Hicklin going to pull up a long 3, going to be off the mark, and the rebound will come down to Coleman. And Lipscomb
really
with the
nice
ball
job
down by 3.
Coleman there.
Great job by North Florida just to deny the 3-point shot, as Parker Hazen into the paint, lays it up over the iron and good, and Lipscomb's back to within 1. You got to really like what North Florida's done. There, Parker Hazen got out in front. Will it be slam number 2? Yes, sirree. Slam number 2. I got to say it. That's another good old slammaroo for him, and Lipscomb's up by 1.
Yeah, great defense, though, that led to it. Now Lipscomb trying to get this crowd into it.
And Parker Hazen, knowing as a 5th-year senior, super senior, from all the stuff through COVID, he knows this is his probably, unless something freaky happened, his last time to play in Allen Arena in front of these fans, and he is all over the place.
Yeah, and if Lipscomb can't win, he knows this is probably his last game ever.
And so he is just playing his heart out here in this first half, and defensively, he's just gone after it the last two times. North Florida to play it in. A bar with it. Here's James going to kick it out to Hendrickson for a long three. Missed everything, but a nice rebound. And the putback won't go there by Abar, but he is going to draw the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot a couple with 17.7 to play in this first 20 minutes.
Yeah, it looked like Will Pruitt kind of was trying to box out Abar there and kind of fell down, and that's what allowed him to get the rebound.
There'll be nobody lining up at the ticket window. There'll be no refunds for this first half. It has been,
it's been
a great, exciting, fast-paced first half here in ASUN Madness. Abar misses on the first free throw as Tommy Murr's back in the lineup. They'll get Coleman out of there, but I really thought they got a good minute or so out of Coleman.
Yeah, I really did, and like I said, I'm not sure Caleb Coleman was you know, you got to be ready when your number's called. I don't know if that was in the game plan that he wouldn't necessarily come in at that time, but they needed him.
Second free throw's good, and we're tied at 31 with 17.7 to play.
And you got to think Lipscomb wants to hold, I would think, here for the final shot.
Tommy Murr will bring it across the timeline, and reaching in and fouling him because they had one to go, at least. That is the sixth foul now charged to North Florida.
If you're going to give a foul, I'd like to give it under 10. I mean, 10 seconds is still tons of time if you're going to give that foul.
I know it's the first foul given up, but you got one of your best shooters giving up fouls. I never like for my real good shooters to give up fouls either. Here's Tommy Murr on the drive. It won't go. Coming out with it's North Florida from midcourt. This one's going to go the free throw line, so now another timeout. Parker Hazen's going to throw it in. Lipscomb has the ball the final 20 minutes here from Allen Arena. Underway here as ASUN Madness continues as a deflection and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by North Florida, so Lipscomb will retain possession under their bucket.
Lipscomb usually after halftime likes to draw a set play up for Asana Sajala. They did it there. Good job defending it by North Florida, though.
Oh, he's got a gap to the hole, but he's going to be fouled before he goes there. When he went, they kind of moved thinking he was going to pass Justin, and the Red Sea parted. I thought he's got a clean shot to the bucket, but then from behind they fouled him. So now Lipscomb will play it again with another 22nd on the shot clock. This time Parker Hazen takes it out top.
Second foul on Hickland. Hickland and Abar are the only players with 2 fouls in this game.
Down to 8 on the shot clock. Pruitt for 3. Off the mark. And the rebound into the hands of Jaden Parker.
Yeah, really good defense there by North Florida. Had to defend a little bit longer because of the foul, but I really liked what they did there. And equally as good by Parker Hayes. Another steal for him.
Boy, he's kind of stepped up his defense. Well, Coach Driscoll talked about it. Lipscomb kind of closed out with a pretty good run, and now they start the third with a pretty good three-pointer. Put it in the book for Trey Benham, and Lipscomb up by 3.
Just got final word. Central Arkansas a winner by 1 point. Stetson misses 2 free throws with under a second to go. Central Arkansas hangs on for the win.
Well, they call that extra timeout to kind of ice them. No icing there by Lipscomb. There's just ice water in the veins. Another 3 up and good. Put it in the book for North Florida. Adedoyan gets that 3, and then down at the other end, a 2 put up there by Sajala.
One-on-one, really not much defense against Asana Sajala. As Jaden Parker, he's got the length, but Sajala with the size.
Lanier on the drive, little scoop shot won't go, and the rebound to Hazen Parker. Here come the Bisons quickly up to Sajala. He couldn't get by, but what a pass to Will Pruitt off the glass and good. Oh, Sajala, he just amazes me with his passes.
Well, and Lipscomb had numbers there. One of the things they did in the win against Central Arkansas, in the second half, they were able to get out in transition a little bit more, and they do it on that last possession.
North Florida goes down low with it to Parker. He's going to spin on a Sajala, work around the ASUN logo, brings it back with the left hand, no good off the rim, and Will Pruitt with the rebound. A Sajala open for 3. Too hard off the back flat part of the iron.
That would have brought the house down.
It
If
would
he'd
have
have
brought
made
the
that
house
shot.
down. It sure would have. Hassan's got 14 points and 5 rebounds for Lipscomb. Only Bison in double figure. Actually, the only player for either team in double figures. Here's a three. This one's off the front of the iron. No good. Missed there by Hicklin.
Hicklin may have just forced that one a little bit, not necessarily in rhythm. I think this is another shot up by 4. Lipscomb, I think, needs to really concerted effort, get the ball inside.
Hicklin 2 of 4 from outside the arc. Trey Benham in and out, no good from the elbow.
That's 2 possessions, though, now where Lipscomb has missed shots with a 4-point lead where you could have really extended the lead.
Yeah, had the chance to extend. Open the door. North Florida now could get set for a 3, and Lanier doesn't take it. Drive and spin, and being fouled finally as Parker Hazen fell all over Jarius Hicklin as he goes to the deck. The sophomore from Dallas, Texas, transferred from Oklahoma Baptist University into North Florida, and really can shoot the rock.
And you talk about the difference maker down the stretch for North Florida when they won 7 out of 10 games in the ASUN, the second half of the ASUN, is Jarius Hicklin. No doubt about it. I mean, he has been fantastic for them.
You know, a guy that has on the year already shot 214 3-pointers and is shooting over 40%. That's how many attempts he's had. Well, he thought about a step back one there, but instead gets it over to Hendrickson, who can shoot the 3. This one off the side of the arm, no good. Football pass from Hassan, but Trey Benham will pull back on it. Then he'll feed one off to Pruitt. Taking it to the rack, gets the 2, and Lipscomb's up by 6 as we go under 16 minutes here in this second half, rather.
In the first 5 minutes, Lipscomb guards are just being a little bit more physical than North Florida.
In and out, no good. That one went way down in the cylinder and popped out on Hicklin's miss. Brenham for 3, won't go. Rebound fought for. Will Pruitt has it. Gives it to Asajala. Leans in. Ball deflect
out in the first 5 minutes and punch North Florida in the mouth. Now it's time for North Florida to kind of get a little more physical and punch back. We'll see if they can do it.
One of the things about Trey Benham as they work the ball down to Asajala. What a pass to Parker Hazen. He'll draw the foul. Is that Trey Benham was injured early. Boy, when he started turning it on for the Bisons, he woke up all the coaches in the league. He makes the ASUN all-freshman team.
And the first game he started this year was the game January 29th at North Florida. He started that game, had 11 points for Lipscomb, and you know, Coach Driscoll even mentioned that in the post game when he was talking about that game. He said, you know, I was really impressed with what Trey Benham did. He was one of those guys getting his first start at 11 points against North Florida.
Parker Hazen, the super senior, connects on both the free throws out of Columbia City, Indiana. And he's in double figures now with 11 points, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 4 of 6 from the field, including a 3-pointer. And Lipscomb out to an 8-point lead. Parker down low. His little jump hook this time from the ASUN is good. It stuck and stayed.
He had the little bit of a run himself in the first half when North Florida needed a bucket. That ends a 3-minute scoring drought for North Florida, and he gets a steal.
He does. Took it away from K.J. Johnson, trying to force a pass. Here's a long 3, in and out, no good there by Adedoyin, and the rebound out to Lipscomb, and then reaching in, Parker's going to be called by the foul, and Will Pruitt in pain as he goes to the deck. He may take a moment or two to roll over before he bounces up off the floor. I don't know if they kind of got him up around the rib.
I think got maybe a little low below the belt just a little bit. Maybe give him a few extra seconds there. Is that foul, though? That's the 3rd foul committed this half. That's number 2, though, on Parker.
Lipscomb will have the ball, no free throws. As the inbounds made by Johnson to Pruitt. Sana Sajala lays it up over the rim, gets the 2, draws the foul. He's got a chance to add one and get a 3-point play the old-timey way.
Well, and that time I was wondering when North Florida was going to try to go double on Asajala. They were going to go double there. They just chose the wrong side. They went double to the baseline, and Asajala turned back to the middle.
Sajla, a 64% free throw shooter, connects and completes the three-point play. He'll get a breather now, as coming back it'll be Parker Hazen, the graduate super senior for the Bisons. Lipscomb now with a 9-point lead. Trying to get to Parker, and they do. Hazen really putting some defense on, and the shots miss, and then coming out of nowhere. And I think we'll get a jump ball here, and the arrow will favor North Florida. I was saying come out of nowhere. Jose just came out of nowhere, didn't he, Justin?
Well,
boom.
the ball you saw there, Caleb Coleman, he was in decent position, and the ball just kind of hung up there a little bit longer, and that led Jose Placer to come in and create the jump ball and give North Florida another offensive opportunity on this possession here.
Plays it into Hickerson. Hendrickson passes it back over. Here's Jose coming into the paint. Nice pass down to Parker. Missed the shot, but a late whistle and a foul. It'll be on Caleb Coleman. And it was a foul.
Yeah, it was a late whistle, but it's the correct call. There was a foul there by Caleb Coleman.
No doubt about it. It was a foul.
The officials, I mean, they've kind of been letting the play develop before they do anything. You've noticed it kind of on both ends.
Yeah, they're going to let the play. They're going to wait, and if that wouldn't go through, it would have been a chance for a three-point play. But instead, they'll learn these two at the free throw line. Get the first one. Back in the lineup comes Chaz Lanier out of Nashville. His dad played for Lipscomb back in the late, kind of mid-90s, 92 to 96. He was a Bison. A lot of great players that he played with. Kenyatta Perry, and he played with McQueen, the president of Lipscomb's husband, Andy McQueen, as Candace McQueen, the new president of Lipscomb. Her husband, Andy McQueen, played with him. And, of course, the best Twitter in town, as that three-pointer is up and good for Caleb Coleman. And Lipscomb has a 10-point lead, and the counter three won't go. Pruitt's got the rebound and feeds it down as the ball is trying to be saved, and a foul's going to be called as knocking to the ground was KJ Johnson. I was just getting ready to say that probably the best guy on Twitter to promote the Bisons, Daniel Dennison, played with Chaz Lanier's dad, Thomas Lanier.
Thomas Lanier, 30th all-time Lipscomb scorer. He's in the 1,000-point club here, and son, of course, played locally at Innsworth High School.
The foul's going to be on Lanier. It'll be his first, team's fifth, and Lipscomb will play it in. 10-point lead as the defense being turned up now by the Ospreys, and the steal made down low by Abar. Good play there by Jonathan Abar.
Yeah, really good play. Lipscomb goes up double digits, momentum kind of going their way.
North Florida needs a bucket. They go down low with it to Abar, and he can't get it, but North Florida really needs to stop a little bit of a run here. They've only hit one out of their last 10 field goals. KJ Johnson driving. Now kicks it over to Trey Benham for three. Won't go, and the glass is covered up there by the Ospreys. They'll fly to the other end with it. Here comes Hicklin.
Really need to see if they can figure out a way to get Hicklin open for an open three. Need to get him back into the scoring here. Bad pass that time by Abar.
Coleman made the steal. Here's a three by KJ Johnson off the mark, and the rebound, and then you'll have a reach-in foul by Trey Benham.
Yeah, open three, but wrong player to be taking the three for Lipscomb that time. And really, there was an open lane. Right now, Lipscomb, everything that's really happening, they're getting more towards in the paint. They need to keep attacking. Early, they build this lead in the second half because their guards were attacking the rim. Yeah,
I was going to say KJ there had his man fake. Maybe should have driven in. My second guessing, maybe then look to pitch. See what happens with 12:36 to play as North Florida will attack again. No field goals in the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, they're one for their last 10.
They'll get it inside this time.
Pretty hard to miss that.
Yep, that one's going to go down. Give it to Jaden Parker, who's having a great game for him. He's got 13 points. He had the first 9 when this game began back around 7 o'clock. And now he's got 13 as they try to force one inside, and it's going to be kicked by North Florida. And so Lipscomb will retain possession. North Florida thought maybe they had a steal there, but they got the kick call against them as Asana Sajala will come back in. Parker Hazen will check out of the game. 8-point Lipscomb lead. You're going to see KJ Johnson try to feed it inside. He does. And then Asajla, being fouled, couldn't get it up over the rim. But that's what you like about KJ. He's got good eyesight. He can spin and turn and then dump it over to Asan.
Well, second on the team in assists this year behind Asana Sajala. 93 assists for KJ Johnson coming in.
Okay. Sajla along at the free throw again, shooting just 64%. Into the lineup comes Josh Berenbaum out of Clearwater, Florida, as they will check Hendrickson out of the game. And Sajala misses both the free throws, and Lipscomb struggling at the line, just 5 of 10 for the game.
Yeah, make it 5 of 11 now.
Yeah, 5 of 11. Long three won't go, but a nice rebound. Feed off. And a foul going to be called on the missed shot there by Parker.
Great tonight, 6 of 8 from the field, 13 points, but these are his first free throw attempts, and he drains that first one. He's just a 63% free throw shooter.
Checking with Erica Plunkett. Erica?
Coach Driscoll was not happy with his team during that break. He just kept saying, we've got to figure it out on the offensive end. We've got to score. He said, you can't keep doing all of this work just to turn the ball over at the end of the day. He also told them, don't lose your mind. It's a 2-possession game. His one message on the defensive end, he was mostly happy with his team's defensive performance, but he said, we've got to be mindful of those fouls. He didn't feel like his team was using their fouls wisely. Lipscomb's in the 1-and-1 for the rest of the game, and he just reminded his team of that and told them to play more carefully from here on out.
He just stuck it on the rim. How many of those have we seen this year? We need a stat.
It's a new colored ball.
It's that ball. It is that ball. I'm telling you. It's kind of like when they moved the Grand Ole Opry from the Opry to the Opry House from the Ryman Auditorium. Things have never been the same. And that ball, things have never been the same. Lipscomb with the possession error, get it back. And KJ Johnson spinning in the paint, needs help. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Parker Hazen is going to try it again, this time off the glass, but too hard. And the rebound out to North Florida. They're on the run. They're only down by 7. We're going to get a traveling call on Dedoyen as Emmanuel is called for the extra steps.
That time Parker Hazen was trying to draw the charge. That travel, I didn't really see where that happened. It was hard. We were blocked out a little bit over here, but it's a critical juncture for really both these teams. We're approaching the midway point. Lipscomb with a little bit of a run here could try to put this one away. North Florida, they're ready. They can get right back into this. I mean, still just a 7-point game, but this is a critical juncture.
Well, Lipscomb hasn't scored in 3 minutes. They go with a reverse layup to Asana Sajla. I don't know how he got it, but they had missed their last 4 field goals, and Lipscomb really needed that one. If you're a Bison fan, it's back to a 9-point game. We approach the midway point, and now North Florida. They need a bucket this time down floor. Here's a long 3 maybe. Nope. Instead he steps in and feeds a pass down low, and it's overshot. The officials will talk about it, and the signal will go to Lipscomb. It went off of a North Florida player. I was thinking maybe that Lazar was just going to pull it up and shoot it, but instead his hand may be giving him some more problems. He passed that one down low, and it goes out of bounds. He's got in this game 5 points. And Hendrickson with 4 points. They both had the big nights against Lipscomb down in Jacksonville, but since then they've been trying to play through some injuries. What a rebound by Parker Hazen to go up. Parker gets above the rim a lot.
Yeah, he really does. And now that foul, it's going to be a 2-shot foul, but as Erica Plunkett mentioned, it's free throws the rest away for Lipscomb, which has not been a great thing in this game. They're shooting 45% from the free throw line. This is a team, Lipscomb, that shoots around 73%.
They'll call the foul on Berenbaum. And Parker Hazen will connect on the first free throw. I was telling you that Hendrickson had 26 down at North Florida, and Plazar had 24, but they both got injured after
the injuries. I really think the injuries, especially their shooting.
Because it's their elbow and their hand.
And both those guys are great shooters, and I just feel for them because they're getting some looks, but you can just tell it looks maybe just to be a little bit off, and that's really just due to the injuries.
Lanier brings it back out top to Adoyan. Adoyan passes off, and then ball lost there, but picked back up by Lanier.
Down to 5. Parker's got to do something.
Into the corner. 3 up, no good there by Birnbaum. Again, Lipscomb, as they feed down low and it's too hard, and Parker Hazen can't hold on to it. But they just haven't been able to get the 3 going. They only hit 5 threes in the game at Jacksonville. Tonight, they only have 3 out of 13, 5 out of 19 for North Florida.
Yeah, their lowest output from 3 this year was 4 against Chattanooga. They were 4 for 17 in that game. And then you mentioned it 2 times this year. Lipscomb's hit 5. Once against Jacksonville State, and then at North Florida just had 5.
We're under 10 to play, and there's going to be a foul on a 3-point attempt. It's going to be on Greg Jones as he knocked down Jose Plazar, and he's going to go to the line now to shoot 3.
Yeah, and it's cardinal sin right there, fouling a 3-point shooter, and especially a guy like Jose Placer, who, again, they need him to be a scorer, does UNF, but dealing with that injury, and you see he got right there on that hand that's taped up.
He's an excellent free throw shooter, as he's over 86%. Connects on the first, he'll have 2 more. We are exactly at 9 minutes left to play in this game. All the other games are complete in this quarterfinal run in the ASUN.
All the higher seeds, or lower seeds, I guess, the home teams have all won. And, you know, we were looking before the game, what's the overall record, the 4 versus the 5 seed in ASUN tournament play. 4 seed is 22-18, but obviously, as you would expect, the 4 versus 5, pretty tightly contested as far as who ends up winning that matchup.
Old habits are hard to break. For the other 18-plus years I've been doing the games here in the ASUN, it would have been the quarterfinals, but this is actually the first round. Quarterfinals will come up next because of 12 teams in the league now. Little
zone defense. You know, in years past, North Florida has been more of a zone defense team, but we talked to some of their coaches before the game and said, no, we've gone a little bit more man this year. We have used zone some, brought it out against Liberty not too long ago, but they do bring zone there, and Lipscomb gets the foul, and the 1-and-1 front end's knocked down by Parker Hazen, who's got 13 now, make it 14, second leading scorer on the night for Lipscomb.
Yeah, that was that one where he hit the front of the iron, just got enough to kiss it back off the glass. And good. That one he hammers down, and Lipscomb back to a 10-point lead. And again, he's got 15 points. Asajala has 19 points. Parker has 14 points for the Ospreys. Parker out top with it. He can shoot the long ball. Chance Lanier on the drive will kick it back out.
Placer wants to go one-on-one with Coleman. Now they switch it.
Placer will drive, shuffles one up. He kind of scooped it, wouldn't go, but man, look who got the rebound, put it up and got it, and is now going to get a chance for a 3-point play. The freshman, Jaden Parker.
You got to be impressed with Jaden Parker. Again, he's coming in averaging 8 points a game, had the first 9. He's now leading the way with 16 points for North Florida.
Played at West Brunswick High School. And he's got a 3-point play. Had the first 9 points of this ball game. He's now got 17, and he's brought North Florida back to within 7. Now what Lipscomb can't get, as Trey Benham has his shot blocked away by Parker. With the length that Parker has at 6'10", along with a couple of his teammates, they do a great job blocking.
And you see, though, this zone defense, they're going zone.
Sajal at the free throw line. Gets Will Pruitt. He fakes and then shoots, and his shot no good, but a rebound. Sajal, a reverse layup and good. He's got 21 points now and 9 rebounds, knocking on the door of another double-double for a member of the first team All-ASUN, Asana Sajala.
He's got that.
He loves that phrase, and he likes to lead this team through that. Little pressure being applied by the Ospreys. They'll drop back now, and the Bisons will cross the midcourt stripe with just under 7.5 minutes to play in this regulation of this one. Down to Sajala. Boy, 3 around him, and so he finds a Trey Benham breaking to the bucket. He lays it off the glass and good.
I mean, he's such a good facilitator. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's got 21, 10, and 5.
Nice
great
little drive. Yes, great drive there. Lazar goes up and gets that too. He's now got 10 points in double figures. Here's a long 3 by Coleman, off the mark, no good. They'll fight for the rebound, saved by Trey Benham, but right back to Dorian James, who quickly gets it up court for the Ospreys.
Big possession for UNF here, down 9. You got to make them pay when you get that stop.
Hicklin thought about taking it on, but then he pulled it back out. Boy, Hassan away from the bucket a long way. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Step back 3, big bucket if it goes, but it's off the mark there, put up there by Hicklin, and Lipscomb's got the rebound as we go inside. 6 minutes to play with this possession as Will Pruitt slows it down.
A really good job by Greg Jones defensively there.
Asana Sajala reverses it. He'll draw the foul. It'll be on Parker. And that'll be the 4th foul on Jaden Parker, who has had a really fantastic game tonight for North Florida. Came out, got those first 9 points. He's 7 of 9 from the field. He's hit on the only 3-pointer he shot, hit a couple of free throws, has 4 rebounds, but now has 4 personal fouls, and of course has 17 points to lead the way for the Ospreys. Struggling again tonight a little bit at the free throw line. Sajala, he's 1 of 4 as he missed that one. He does have 21 points and 10 rebounds. You'll take that any day, but this is where you'd like for him to be able to seal some games at the free throw line.
Yeah, and you mentioned Parker exiting. That 17 points ties for a career high for him. He had 17 against Kennesaw State just a couple of weeks ago.
Sajala will check out, and Parker Hazen will check back in. They've been trading places a couple of times here tonight. They're getting a lot of good minutes tonight out of Caleb Coleman, are the Bisons.
Yeah, and I think some unexpected minutes because, but you know, a lot of times Coach Lenny Acuff, he'll go with a hot hand. I mean, and any coach will do that. If you put a player in, maybe you wasn't expecting to play, but they make an early shot or they make a good impact, as there's a steal by Will Pruitt. They make a good impact, and I thought the impact that Caleb Coleman made in the first half was his defense and rebounding initially. Then he knocked down that 3.
I think one of the things is he matches up size-wise pretty good with several of the players from the Ospreys. He comes in at 6'7", sophomore out of Orlando, Florida, and sometimes you need that matching size down low to help out. As Will Pruitt connects on the free throw, he's a 80% free throw shooter. Pruitt tonight with 9 points, can go into double figures. He's also got 6 rebounds to go with it. And now he's in double figures with the 10, above his average or right at it of 9.8, averaging about 13 a game here in ASUN play. And Lipscomb out to a 61-49 lead. Hendrickson almost took an extra step down there, but had presence of mind to kick it out. And Adoydean goes up and nails the 3. Put it in the book for him. Big 3 for the Ospreys.
Yeah, Adoydean, I mean, that was a necessary 3 right there, approaching 5 minutes to go to get it back under double digits.
Adoydean can shoot that 3. He's attempted 121. He's shooting right under 40% from three-point land as Hazen Parker kind of forced one up, missed on it, and the rebound comes out to North Florida.
Big possession
This
here.
is a big possession for them. And there'll be a foul on Caleb Coleman reaching over the back of Jonathan Abar.
Be a 1-and-1. Abar that's where he's done his damage tonight from the free throw line. 5 of 6 from the charity stripe.
Well, they are 10 of 12 from the free throw line. Lipscomb 12 of 19. Lipscomb just 3 of 15 from three-point land, 6 of 21 for North Florida. You know, you look at these schools, compare some things. This is Lipscomb's 91st season. They have won 1,448 games against 903 losses. And then you look back at University of North Florida. They were founded in 1965. They built the school, opened it in 72. They've won 364 games against 497 games. They started NAI Division I, NAI rather. When they went Division I, they've won 223 games against 312. Just interesting comparing these two programs and how long they've been around. Lipscomb State NAI for a long time. In 1999, made the decision to go to Division I in the NCAA and have been there now for 22 years, including the transition period, and 18 years in the ASUN.
Interesting, they've moved Hendrickson to guard Asajala, and I think that's not a bad idea by UNF. Now Abar's on the switch, and good defense that time by Abar, but this is you know, we talked about 2 big possessions for North Florida. They answered on the 2. They had the 3 and then the 2 made free throws. This is Lipscomb right here. This is a big one for the Bisons.
Well, they have only a 7-point lead with 4:34 to play. Still plenty of time in this one. 17 on the shot clock. Asajala away from the bucket. It's going to work toward the bucket against Hendrickson. And then a behind-the-back pass to Parker Hazen. Oh, me, oh, my. You can just shake your head at that one if you're a fan of the Ospreys, because there's just, what do you do?
And that's what Coach Driscoll's doing. There's not really anything you can do. They had the perfect double team there. I mean, when you're going to double, there's going to be somebody open, and you're just hoping the big man can't find it, but he did.
Hendrickson for 3. Put it in the book. As Hendrickson off the bench now after having some time to rest, gets his 7th point. And with that, he's brought his team to a 2-possession game, down by 6 with 3:50 to play. Back down to Asajala. Works against Hendrickson. Hendrickson goes down. Asajala gets the bucket. Hendrickson wanted an offensive foul. The officials thought it was more maybe a flop there. And so Lipscomb will get the 2 points out of it.
And Coach Driscoll asking, was that a charge? But it looked a little bit floppish, and I think that's why they didn't give it to him. Big offensive rebound by Abar.
Kicked it out for another 3, kissing it off.
Next whistle will send us to another timeout.
If Lipscomb takes some time off the clock, or if they keep attacking, it's only a 5-point game, 2-possession. Again, there hasn't been a lot of big threes tonight for the Bisons. They've hit just 3 of 15, 8 of 24 now for the Ospreys. Inside 3 minutes. Greg Jones finds a gap, drives in, puts it up, misses on it, and a rebound comes
Great
out.
defense.
With it's going to be Hicklin. Great job by the Ospreys, and the 3 by Hicklin.
Wow,
spun in and out. If that had gone, that would have been a big basket for North Florida.
Lipscomb's got to get it into the paint on this possession. Got to get it to Asajala. He's got to touch it down low.
He's got it, not in the paint yet, but he's looking to move that way against Hendrickson. He does, turns, shoots it, no good, but who's there to get the rebound? And it's Parker Hazen. That's one of the advantages when both Hazen and Asajala are on the floor together. 10 on the shot clock, 2:12 on the game clock. 5-point Lipscomb lead. Hazen thought about a long 3, but instead will drive and dump it off to his partner. And this time it's Hazen to Asajala. They just swapped it up that time.
Huge bucket, and with that, Asajala goes over 1,600 points for his career. See that? North Florida 0 for 17 this year when trailing with 5 minutes to go. They're going to have to make their first comeback of the year, and that's a way to do it right there by Hendrickson.
Henderson did a great job, worked in the paint, knew what to do, did a little spinning, went around and put that one up and got it with 1:41 to go. Back to a 5-point game. Timeout called there by North Florida. And this will be stretched to the media.
Yeah,
should be the under 3 media timeout it is. We got a minute 41 to play. It is a 5-point Lipscomb lead. We'll take a break with them. We'll be back after this as you watch ASUN Madness on ESPN. Here in Nashville, a minute 41 to go. Lipscomb with a 5-point lead. Last game to go here in the first round. The other ones have been decided. Let's look at an updated bracket as you've got Central Arkansas advancing with a win over Stetson to take on Jacksonville. And Kennesaw State wins over Eastern Kentucky. They'll take on Jacksonville State. Florida Gulf Coast wins over North Alabama. They'll be taking on Bellarmine. And we're waiting here to see if it'll be Lipscomb or UNF traveling up to Lynchburg to take on Liberty. A look at the ASUN bracket as the first round comes to a close.
Full court pressure here. Plenty of time. No need to foul for UNF. You just got to get a stop on this possession.
All fouls will be 2 shots for the Bisons the rest of the way. Lipscomb has committed 7, so both teams will shoot free throws as we move toward the minute-and-a-half mark. And now we're going to have the whistles a little quicker. This time Asajla is going to be whistled for the foul. I mean whistled as he was fouled.
That's a little hack-a-shack right there. A little hack-a-shack play. Asajla not shooting well from the free throw line, just 2 of 5. And North Florida opting to foul Asajla.
And Asajla at the line for Lipscomb will get the first free throw. He is a 64% free throw shooter already here tonight. 26 points, make it 27 now. 12 of 20 from the field. And connects on both the free throws where he is 4 of 7, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Just another day at the office for Hassan Asajla. Lipscomb with a minute 27 to go, out on top here by 7. Oh, almost a turnover there by North Florida. And
2-1 all time against Lipscomb in the ASUN tournament. One of those wins was in 2015 when Coach Driscoll led UNF to their only NCAA tournament berth.
Yeah, he won his 200th game at UNF with a 74-72 win over Kennesaw State back on the 12th of February. He is the winningest coach in UNF history, and he became the 2nd winningest coach in ASUN history with the win over Stetson, the overtime win this past Saturday, as getting 1 of 2 is Will Pruitt, and he is one of the best in the ASUN. And so is Lenny Acuff in his 3rd year at the Lipscomb program after the missed drive there by the Ospreys, as Jose is coming up short on it. Lipscomb's going to be fouled with a minute 4. Well, you look at Coach Lenny Acuff. In his 3rd year here at Lipscomb, 44 wins against 46 losses, but in 32 years, 599 wins against 371. If his team can hold on with this 8-point lead right now with a minute 4, and Will Pruitt wants to stretch it out, he gets 1 of them. If he can stretch it out to a 10-point lead, this would be win number 600 for Coach Lenny Acuff.
Yeah, just amazing. And you think about just not only the wins, but all the lives he's affected in those 600 wins, all the men that he is, or boys that he's helped become men.
2 of the best on the sideline over there, and they're good friends, and when it's all over, they'll shake hands and smile at each other. And it's not all over yet, because Henderson out of bounds. They're going to give it to Jones, and then everybody steps in. He'll look to play it in and gets it in to Hazen, who gets it right back to Grace Jones, who's going to be fouled with 53.7 to play.
You know what's amazing too, again, Lipscomb able to hold on to this. They were just 3 of 15 from 3-point land, Lipscomb, in this game. I mean, this would have been this will be, if they don't hit another 3-pointer, the lowest 3-point total Lipscomb's had this year.
I will tell you, I would have never thought that they would have this lead with a chance to beat North Florida and only hit 3 3-pointers in this game.
And North Florida's right at their average of 9. But it's the points in the paint dominated by Lipscomb. 46-26, Lipscomb dominating inside.
Hitting some key free throws down the stretch. Lipscomb has stretched it out now 74-65 as they have hit 19 of 27 at the line. Hendrickson for another three. This one off the mark, and the rebound to Greg Jones with 41 seconds. Coach Matt Driscoll will pull his team off, and Lipscomb will advance to the quarterfinals. They'll head to Lynchburg, Virginia to take on Liberty. We've got the quarterfinals set now as Greg Jones gets to dribble it out. Really 12 seconds on the shot clock. They will not take a shot here most likely. They will turn the ball right over to North Florida. Let's see if we see that happen here between these two teams. As Greg Jones dribbles it out, we get a shot clock violation. That's what you like to see two class teams do.
Yeah, sportsmanship at its highest level.
And you'll see North Florida do the same here. Coach Driscoll and Coach Acuff are letting this one tick away, and Coach Lenny Acuff just won his 600th game. He'll get a big hug from Matt Driscoll. Lipscomb